So speaking of taking months to get to
Jesus
a movie,
Christ. And this is the weirdest of reasons. And so we're going to talk about Black Friday. This came out November last year. However,
fuck yeah,
in
dude.
America, it didn't hit
Mhm.
screens until February this year in the UK.
Because of course, why wouldn't it?
So it's a bit weird. Like, it's getting spring, and we're watching stuff about basically the pre-Christmas rush, and wintertime is just
Mhm.
odd.
Yeah, I
But
don't get it.
especially in this day and age, we've talked about this loads and loads of times, but I don't get now
Mhm.
the regions. Doesn't make sense, and
No, no, not at all.
especially when everyone wants the new world order and everything to be the same, then keep everything the same. You can just have an opening week for movies, so all the starlets can go to all the cities in a week and then release a movie
Hmm.
for everybody. Job's a good one.
Yeah, it just seems like it'd make fucking sense.
I don't know, man, but it's a fun, goofy movie anyway.
Mm-hmm. This one was one I was not disappointed with. And it was funny because at first, like, I mean, I typically don't give a shit about reviews because realistically, there's like maybe three people that I listen to and like actually take their opinion to heart when it comes to movies. Everybody else can go eat a dick. But so many people were shitting on this movie every time I saw stuff. And it was all for the same reason, and they're all dumbasses.
God,
Like everybody expected Bruce Campbell to be Ash Williams in this. And it's like this isn't a fucking Evil
he
Dead
plays other
movie.
characters. He's an actor.
Yeah, and really fucking well.
It's like Bubba Hotep. We talked about that one
Yeah,
before. You know what I mean? Completely different character.
yeah.
Is that what it
That's
is?
one of his greatest fucking roles.
God, what do you call his character out of Xena? Oh shit!
Shit, I don't remember.
It's like back in the day. Was everyone expecting to see that? You know, are people that fucking stupid? Or
Mhm.
maybe it's because,
Yeah, people are.
or maybe it's because actors are so like the majority of actors are like fucking cardboard cutouts. And we are just talking about Pattinson,
Mhm.
like you know what I mean, fucking emo person the whole way. You know what I mean? Doesn't
Yeah.
no range whatsoever, and fuck most of the Hollywood ones. See that co-star of his as well. She's a fucking blonde one. I saw her during an interview and I was like, what the fuck?
You talking about Zoe
Yeah.
Kravitz? I thought she was good.
But as a
I like
person,
her.
it's just fucking, you know,
Oh, as a person, I don't give
it's
a
like,
fuck. I mean, I
that's the
couldn't
problem. You
care
see
less.
them, they take part in an interview, they've fucking no personality whatsoever, and you're like, okay. And that's,
Mhm.
I think that's, you know what I mean? The bar is so low, I think, that the likes of Bruce Campbell's a gem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I was excited Ash versus Evil Dead, because when he was back with, oh Jesus Christ, now I'm going to forget her, Lucy Lawless, it was like a
Hmm.
reuniting, because he was well, obviously, that's why I brought up Xena, because he's acted with her before, and they were, those two just play off each other
Yeah.
so brilliantly, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they were so good
But actors
together.
like that now are not the standard. They're the fucking exception. That's the problem we're in.
Yeah, it seems like everybody wants to be a star, not a fucking actor, and that's the problem we
But
get.
here's the thing, and Bruce Campbell has not went down now, because the only other person I can think of who has really made themselves, you know, a name is Sylvester Stallone in terms of producing and directing movies as well as starring in them. But the
Hmm.
problem is that guy's a fucking dick, and he can't leave his ego alone. So every
Yeah.
movie has a self insert, you know what I mean? And it's like fuck off. But
Hmm.
Bruce Campbell's not afraid to take the back seat, and that's what he did with this movie. He
Yeah.
wasn't the main character. No, the main
Nope.
characters.
Fucking ate the scenery though. Like anytime he was on screen, you fucking only gave a shit about him.
That's weird. Like, and plus, he's a producer, so he wants the movie to work. You know what I mean? It's not about.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and I've seen interviews, especially for the Evil Dead game coming up in May. He knows he's not a young man. He's not living in a fucking bubble
Hmm.
about who he is. He knows his fan base is very niche, and he needs to cultivate them. You know what I mean? That comes
Hmm.
across. That's why I'm a fan. You know what I mean? It's very, very rarely I'm a fan of celebrities. That's why I try not to read, as you know, too many articles because it would just do my head in. I would never watch a movie again.
Yeah,
That's why I don't read about celebrities and the production stuff, because fuck, I would never watch a movie because they're dickheads, and you have to let go of that to enjoy entertainment. But Bruce Campbell always comes across as genuine, so people shitting on him for just not playing the same character is fucking hell.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But we'll start off with this. We'll see the introduction, like the alien. It's a meteor storm, so it's effectively an alien invasion movie. And we see the meteor landing, and some guy in this warehouse just getting shit sorted out, and then we see the glowing blobby mass thing, and we just know it's going to go pear shaped from there. It was great start, and the movie's not it's not getting you to expect anything. It's like, here's a couple of hours of dumb fun, strap in and let's go. Yeah, it's not trying to tell you any messages. It's not fucking beating you over the head. It's not navel gazing or trying to fucking philosophize or anything. It's just like, here's some dumb fun with CGI and practical effects. Let's go.
Well, the thing I liked about it is because last night was the second time I'd watched it, was all the shit of, like, here's a message. Like, it was so subtle, the way movies used to be. Like when she calls out people for fucking sexism or racism and shit like that. It's like,
oh, Anita, she was a cunt.
It's just a part of the movie.
She's the typical dipshit that pervades today's society. That's a problem. It's the Anitas are in charge. That's why we're all fucking miserable. Because fucking that little slimy dipshit, pointless thing, just and
it was great seeing her taken out.
And Ken, he's another one, just fucking little suck up cock one. You're like, fuck off.
Yeah, it was great to see them die, especially the way they died.
This reminds me of Slacks, actually. The intro to Slacks and the whole retail genre, because we're probably going to rehash, but we've talked about retail before and the fucking corporate, the corporate goons up at the top, and they spew all the words, but they really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then it starts them all off. They're all lined up. Like, Jonathan's Bruce's character, Jonathan, won't even come out and meet his staff. He's doing it from an intercom, and there's only like 10 staff in the whole store. And he's that aloof that he'll do it over an intercom. Fucking.
Well, and only after being announced.
Yeah, like, yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ, look at this fucking monarch son of a bitch.
Fucking. But the thing is, I've worked for people like that.
No, same.
This is not parody. This is fucking actually like a documentary.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyone who's worked in retail's seen these fucking arseholes. And then when they start making announcements, oh, by the way, it's not overtime. Oh, there's no paid breaks. Like, basically, you're about to get run onto the ground for no more than maybe a couple of hours extra work at the same rate. There's no benefit to you.
Yeah.
And that's retail.
Yep, been there.
But this is what gets me. Let's go off on a wee tangent, as I'm known to do. Companies,
what?
Yeah, surprise. Companies will spend billions on stupid shit. They'll spend it in promotional material. They'll spend it in pet projects. They'll spend it on shit just to pass around the groups. They'll spend it on pointless, like supermarkets get me with their printout vouchers. What a waste of money when people have loyalty cards. But they'll spend and waste money on this, but they will not treat the bottom line staff right.
No, of course not.
But it would cost less to actually treat the bottom line staff with a better respect and actually lead to more productivity. But that's the thing they don't do. But it's not that they're afraid to spend money. They will burn money on the stupidest shit ever. I've been watching a lot of because what was it? Master Universe come up again, so I've been watching there's a couple of YouTube channels I keep in touch with, go over like the whole history, and the companies actually destroyed themselves by infighting. So the whole He-Man She-Ra thing was actually infighting between two divisions of the same fucking company, which led to the whole downfall.
That's funny.
And when you read about it all, you're like, you dickheads. And you just gotta wonder who these fucking senior executive, middle manager types are. They're the most useless, pointless fucking human beings on the planet. Yet,
Well, and the crazy thing is, like, especially if we're going off of like strictly like the entertainment industry, executives have the shortest lifespan of every other position. Like, usually they have 2 years in a job before they're transferred, fired, or fucking retire. And for them to be the ones with the power, it's fucking asinine.
it's the same with CEOs. CEOs only have a tenure now, so there's none of this
Hmm.
stuff of the proprietor building up a company and, having an investment in it. Disney's a perfect
Hmm.
example. Fucking there's Chapek, he's trying to make changes and they're all fighting with him because they know they just have to dig their heels in
Hmm.
for 2 years and he's gone. And then they bring somebody else in who's
Yeah.
more in their line of thinking. It's fuck it. So there's none of us here actual having longevity with these companies. That's probably part of the
Hmm.
problem. They're only seeing short term goals and that
Yeah, I don't get it.
does my head in. But you see it, it's all played out here. You know what I mean? This is relevant. It's
Yeah.
all played out here on this freaking platform. You see everyone lining up. It's just like, oh god, I was getting triggered to use that word because it was just
Yeah.
bringing me back the days gone past and recently, and just fucking, you've got the fucking bubble that don't actually do the job, but they just constantly poke at you and get in your way, and they cause you
Hmm.
misery. And if they just piss off, things would actually go a lot smoother and things would be more productive and you'd
Right.
actually make more money. It's like people don't want to make money anymore.
Right.
Like the basics of any job or enterprise is to be successful. They actually, people pay their hard earned cash. That's how everything stays alive. Everything else can happen afterwards, but if you don't have people paying money, fucking, what chance have you got?
Yeah.
So we see this store. We love toys, like really subtle. And Anita's like the holy grail. And it says in the corporate handbook, blah la la la.
Yeah.
Ken's saying, "We love
Down to
toys."
fucking yelling at the kid for not tucking in his
That's
goddamn
a write
shirt.
up. I'm like, the fuck?
Like, right? It's like, of all this shit to be pissed off about.
I was
Come
more
on.
I was more
It's just
surprised that he had his shirt on tucked because he's a bit of a clean freak anyway. You see him at the start with a
Mhm.
hand sanitizer and he's just afraid of germs and doesn't want to operate the till because of
Mhm.
germs and stuff. And you're like, dude, you need to go and check yourself in somewhere. You're gonna break. Eventually, that's gonna come to you. But yeah. So they're all start up. They're lined up, getting beaten down a bit more, and then they open the doors. Fuck, I forgot. They had this new guy start. He was like a red shirt
Yeah.
with the
Yeah,
Heelys. Oh,
definitely.
fucking Heelys. Oh my god.
Dude. Fucking Heelys, man.
Most annoying.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If they made SpongeBob ones of my size, I'd probably wear them. But if you're an adult, you shouldn't
No,
wear them.
it's my last foray was in my 30s. I tried rollerblades and it didn't end well. So I was just like, nah, let's not do that. But a grown adult running around in Heelys and stuff, it's just but it's you're talking about everything being subtle. This is society today. People are grown up infants. You know, they
Yeah.
genuinely
Yeah,
are. I
pretty
know we
much.
have a laugh and we have our toys and we like our geeky stuff and we indulge in childish things, but
Hmm.
when we switch this off, we'll go back to being a grown up again. These people aren't.
I at least pretending. Really
Yeah,
good
at
at
least go through the
pretending.
motions of being an adult and knowing, okay, I got to do responsible shit for a while. Let's get it cracked out.
Right.
But these ones don't, and it's tragic to see. But
Hmm.
Chris ends up encountering the first of the possessed because they're not zombies.
Oh, and that shit, man. So good.
And then everyone, like, where the fuck else would it happen that you get tied to a chair by the rest of your staff? And how does the entire
Right.
staff end up in the storeroom while Black Friday's happening? Like, where it's just the
I mean, having worked retail on holidays, I get it. You try to just like bamf the fuck out of there for as long as you can.
Yeah, go. But the entire staff are just like everyone goes into the back storeroom, ties up on their own, just fucking. Oh man. And then everything like there's not really much of a plot to this. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward. It's A to B to C to wow, that was a fun fucking movie.
Yeah. So everything just goes chaotic. Then they realize there's something real. They have to go and fight themselves out the front of the store to lock the doors.
Hmm.
Then there's, I think the interesting thing was the interplay between the characters. They did that really well because
Hmm.
this could have just been like a bland, forgettable uh, jump scare thing, or goofy thing. But the
Yeah.
actual interplay between the characters and, like I said, the subtle message was what made this movie enjoyable.
Well, and it would have been terrible too to have the talent that they did just be essentially fodder for the alien invasion. Because like that's the thing. Like, yeah, everybody was fun, everybody was campy and shit, but like they had some solid fucking actors there. Like, for instance, like Michael Jai White, like they could have just had him be the tough guy and leave it at that. But they, for as little screen time as he had so much character, and you cared about him when his end happened. Like that was like a fuck, I didn't see that coming
Yeah, and
type of thing.
that was
Like they really did
that
that
was
well.
cool. And because we already know that even though they brought in the big stars, it was actually the newbies are getting the screen time, which is great. So once
Hmm.
again, talking about the ego thing, you're not having these I'm the superstar in this medium budget movie, you know. So I'm gonna have it all about me. They're
Yeah.
actually happy to take part, be a like a reserve character or a what am I looking? What's the term?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, my brain's going again. Supporting role.
I'm not sure. There
There we
you go.
go. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Fucking blew the sawdust out here. They're happy to take a supporting role and not overshadow everything, which made
Hmm.
it, which actually showed them to be more talented.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, Bruce
definitely.
Campbell and Michael J. White could have like made the whole movie about them.
Oh, yeah, it could have just been them, and I probably would have been
Yeah,
happy.
but it just shows the maturity, which once again
Hmm.
is rare to see with
Hmm.
Hollywood. So good to see actually mature characters taking the backseat, just happy to be part of a project
Yeah,
and give it life. But yeah,
definitely.
it was hard to keep up with the thing that was fast paced about it because it was slow paced and fast paced at the same time. I mean, you had your things, but the ends of the characters just boom come out of nowhere. There was none of this like build up. You
Hmm.
knew it was going to happen, and it was
Yeah.
very like you really don't know who's going to. Was suspected Ken and Chris possibly, but you didn't know
Hmm. Yeah.
because even the way they set up like Anita and Ken, even though they're dipshit characters, they had every chance of surviving with everyone else. Just the way the movie
Hmm.
was played out, which I actually kind of liked.
Yeah. Well, and then even down to like Ethan Embry's character, like having him set up as like, oh shit, he's gonna turn, and then it goes on to like the other guys.
Yeah. Oh, that was Ken, wasn't it?
Like that was a pretty surprise way to
Yeah,
go.
because after yeah, the scene with Ruth, she's just staring out the window and the cop car's coming.
That shit was so
That was
good.
the I.
You know exactly what's gonna happen, but it hits and it's so
I'm like,
good.
you know what's going to happen, but you're still going, nah, it's going to
Mhm.
swerve or something. Nope, smack.
Yeah. Yeah, not quite as hard hitting as the scene from oh fuck, why can't I think
You're
of the
suffering
name?
from eye disease.
The A24 movie with the witches. Um oh my god. How the fuck did I forget? Never mind.
Oh,
Hereditary.
right.
It's not quite as hard hitting as the scene
No,
in Hereditary because you know what's gonna happen, but yeah, no, this was definitely fucking hilarious because you're like, nah, they're not gonna do. Oh my god, they did
I
it!
think I need to revisit that movie again, and we need to talk about it
I am 100%
because
down. Any sort of fucking A24 movie, I'm always down to talk about.
that was a strange one. Because
Yeah,
the
I loved
focus
it.
was somewhere, and then it ended up being somewhere else completely. The only thing that annoyed me was the
Mhm.
ending. I'll not lie. After all the build up, the ending kind of went, what the fuck? I didn't quite. I need to.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need to
you need
watch
to
it
watch it.
again
And
with a more,
yeah,
sort of observant eye, because there was, like I said, a few bits like towards the end, just like what the fuck. But yeah, that's on the playlist. But yeah,
that's good.
this one, they all get back into the storeroom, and that was the weirdest thing ever. I think that was the best scene. You know, in their
Yeah.
storeroom, and they open the fridge and they find a turkey, so they decide to have Thanksgiving dinner with fucking sandwich meat.
I mean, who hasn't been there?
Fuck. And the whole ritual. That's such an American thing, by the way. The whole everything having to be a ritual. Taking off the name badges, and I'm in therapy right now. I've been working on this. It was like an AA
Mhm.
meeting.
Yeah,
It was
straight
like
up.
I've been in retail for 4 years. I've been in blah blah blah. But fucking Bruce Campbell stole the show in that scene because he's like, does nobody
Oh
want to know
yeah,
about me?
definitely.
That's the only time his character's brilliant. But he's like,
Hmm.
does anyone know about me? I joined this so I could tell people what to do and stuff, and just went like proper psycho, like scary person.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely. And then the scary part of it wasn't what he was saying; it was the delivery. Like he was so happy about it. Like, yeah, this is why I do it. And it's like you're a fucking
Yeah,
sociopath.
I think I'd take my chances with the monsters than being here with you because I know you're going to eat me at some point
Right.
with a smile on your face. Brilliant. That was the best sort of line in the whole movie. Him just going off on that one about why he wants to be a retail manager. I was like, fucking hell, dude.
Mhm.
Brilliant. Then they go, yeah, after that they go up the roof. How did they set the fire? I forget that, but
The fire was from the bears.
oh,
The
the
oh god, what the fuck were they
Dar
called?
some Dennis
Oh
Dar
my god, how
Dennis
the hell? And it's not even written down. Yeah,
Dar
Dour
Dennis, yeah.
Dennis, the Dour Dennis bear. I want one of those so fucking bad. This shit's hilarious. But yeah, so they were faulty and defective, and that's what started the fire. Was the bear spazzing out and shooting sparks?
I was I wasn't deliberate. I knew it wasn't. I hadn't set the fire, but yeah, those birds are brilliant. Reminds
Oh
me of
yeah,
like garbage pail kid type setup with those. I need to bring those
definitely.
back. I had those cards when I
Ugh,
was a kid.
they're still around. They're still around.
Yeah, I had those cards when I was a kid,
I'm
and
still salty about that shit. There's like two or three card books of those that I'm supposed to have, but fucking people stealing from me.
yeah, here you're not.
Shame.
Fuck, I got into a fight at school about it because somebody gave me a few. Remember primary school? Like it was only like fucking 6 or 7 or something whenever they were out, and
Hmm.
some kid gave me a handful of it. Did swap season. Some kid gave me a handful, and this other kid decided to get involved. And then a whole fight ensued. He took them, and then his mother got involved. And I'm getting screamed at by some random kid's mother over fucking cards. I think that's when I got rid of mine.
Jesus.
I'm like, I don't need this shit. Fucking random.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Fuck that.
Someone was giving me some of the cards for a handful of something else or whatever, and then after that, I'm like, you know what? If that's the way people are going to get on, but I went to a pretty fucked up school anyway, so
Mm.
them the times. But yeah, that finished me with those. But now, trying to get hold of that movie as well is impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one that I'm really surprised there hasn't been a re-release of. 'Cause, I mean, it's still like it fucking holds up.
Yeah, that was one like I saw once again saw way back in the day, but never. And you think in the world of nostalgia that'd be a franchise somebody wants to like not reimagine because not today. Wait till cinema gets better again. Not what the fuck what's today, but that should be out as a cult classic. I don't know why it's not. But that's what the Dar Dennis kind of
Mhm.
reminds me of that sort of era. So there was a bit
Oh
of
yeah.
a love note to that, which once again subtle references where if you're paying attention you'll kind of get yeah. But
Mhm.
yeah, they get up to the roof, fucking place is on fire, and that's where they went to go down to the truck, wasn't it? Or did the truck happen
Yeah.
first?
Well, no, so they
They
went
went
to
to
the
the
truck
truck.
first, and then they went to the roof because they couldn't get
They were
out by
starting
the
to rip the
truck.
truck to pieces. Aye, because they
Hmm.
got taken to the
Yeah,
bathroom by
so
the
that's when,
fucking driver.
yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Oh, what a waste of whiskey as well.
Like that would be my luck. Like I'm locked in an apocalypse. I'm going to get my stash, and then it falls and shatters, and it's like, great, now I get to die sober. This is terrible.
Actually, that scene way at the beginning, where Ken's like, topping up. He's been like the cool guy, let's get started with this with the hip
Hmm.
flask. And Michael J. White's like, nah. And then once he announced about, oh, by the way, no paid breaks and no overtime, fuck it. That would be me.
Yeah,
I've done that.
yeah, straight
I've,
up.
I've just been like, you know what? Fuck it. If you're going to treat us like shit, fuck you. If I get sacked
Right.
this minute, I don't care. And funny enough, that's a trait I've kept. I don't give a shit about jobs. I
Right. That's why I can't work a normal job.
No, that's why I'm trying to do other stuff because fucking do my head in. Fucking and that's this
Hmm.
movie. This movie just is like a real life documentary because
Right.
everything and every character I have encountered, and that's why I loved it so much because it's like
Yeah.
fucking great. I would love to see. There's loads of former colleagues. I'd love to see killed in an apocalypse, and I would laugh.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the people have. I think the problem is with work, you've no choice but to be there. I mean, if you want a lifestyle, you have to,
Yeah.
do something. And you're stuck with these people that, let's be honest, you wouldn't give the time of day to. Like, I don't think I've ever been in a
Right.
workplace where the people I work with are the ones I hang out with, or, one or two individuals, yeah, but generally they're people that I would not be on my radar whatsoever. The only
Hmm.
time it came close with the lines blurred was Games Workshop, because I was working with people who were in the hobby, because you had to be in the hobby to get a job. It was part of the requirements. And obviously, I had a
Hmm.
gaming club stuff, and we hung out and went for pints. So that's the only job ever where I've actually worked with the people I've hung out with. But the money was shit, so
Yeah.
it wasn't really worthwhile. But apart from
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. And thinking back, I can't really think of a single job I ever had where I wasn't already friends with the people I worked with. So like I can't really think of any that. I mean, maybe Pizza Hut when I was a kid, because I'd like get fucked up with my boss and shit. But yeah, no, I can't think of a single place I've ever worked at and been like, oh hey, we're friends now.
yeah, I'm generally get the fuck away from me. If this ever appears on like an employer's thing and they're listening to me, they'd be like, "Oh right, okay, Colin." But it is what it is. I'm not there to be best buddies. I'm
Yeah.
there to earn a wage
Mhm.
and get on with life.
Yeah,
But this
exactly.
thing just harkens so true, and that's what just gets me about it. But yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, they try and go in the truck. Fucking truck's getting ripped to bits. Get up the roof, and then that's where Jonathan finally stands up. Is that where Ken admits the bite? Or sorry,
No, that's after. Wait, yeah, that is right before they jump off the roof. That's where he admits that he's the one that bit him.
yeah, and you're like, what fucked up shit is that? So you're like when the
Right.
zombies are the possessed, they're not zombies. Everything looks like a zombie movie. That's the problem.
They're fucking
Yeah,
zombies. We'll just say they're alien zombies.
but they've more purpose this time. So they've actually got
Hmm.
intelligence and they've actually got a goal. So not your usual
Yeah.
shambling, jumping, snarly things.
No, no, and it's fucking great when the goals
Yeah,
met.
we'll get that in a sec. But yeah, they're attacking, and your thing is, I'm gonna bite you to make you look like you're infected because I hate your guts. Blah blah blah. Out of petty jealousy.
Hmm.
Have you seen All of Us Are Dead yet?
No, I don't.
It's a K horror
No.
series.
Oh yeah, no. I haven't watched that yet. That's next to my queue. I'm going through Lock and Key right
Right.
now.
It's not any good.
Then after that, we're watching that.
Yeah.
Lock and Key. Did you ever read
No.
the books? Yeah, that's good then.
All right, okay.
If you read the books, it's really hard to get into, but yeah, no, I dig it.
All right, Mike. Make a batch. Problem so hit and miss with Netflix series, but yeah, all of us are
Mhm.
dead. There's a similar scene, and it's just as fucking
Mm.
twisted.
Yeah, that's heavy, man.
Where
Like that's some
you're actually
shit.
deliberately fucking someone over, and you're like, and these are school kids doing it. It's fucking and that
Yeah.
it's messed up, man. But yeah, that's what I just reminded of when Ken admits he actually bit him to make it look like he'd been infected. Like you fucking dick.
Right. Like that's basically
Yeah,
murder, but more dickish. Like I think actually killing somebody would probably be less of a dickhead move.
yeah. That's I've said before we live in the age of the weasel. That's who run the show
Hmm.
now. The weasels, the little sniveling dipshits. You know, they're the ones
Yeah.
that are kind of the main vocal voice, and it doesn't matter what facade they put forward, should be politics, rights, whatever else. It's sniveling little dipshits who just want to fuck other people
Hmm.
over. That's their whole motivation.
Yep.
And Ken is just that. That's exactly what that guy is. He's
That's fucking little man
yeah,
syndrome.
it's fucking no point. But yeah,
Hmm.
Jonathan decides to actually step up and give him a chance to escape. So he makes his heroic sacrifice, which is actually pretty decent. I like this character. I like the way he's
Hmm.
understated in this movie. Like
Yeah.
this could have been Ash Campbell, you know, in another. Sorry, not Ash. What's Ash's surname?
Bruce
Yeah, Bruce
Campbell,
Campbell, but Ash
Ash Williams.
Williams. Yeah, I was about to say Ashy Slashy, but because I've got that in my head, because that's fucking. That's the
Uh,
best thing ever. But this could have just been another version of Ashy Slashy and fucking. Uh,
mhm.
don't know, but he didn't. He was like understated, and even him giving himself up at the end wasn't taking over the show. He just poof right, let the main characters carry on. Then we see
Mhm.
the fucking culmination of what they're trying to do. This,
Yeah, that's when it turns into a fucking kaiju
yeah.
movie, and that's when I was screaming at the television. I was so fucking excited first time I
Do
saw
you know what it
this.
reminded me of? See the effects. Do you know that one? We've talked about it before with Nicolas Cage. The
The
color
color
out of
out of space.
space, right? It was similar
Mhm.
color schemes, or that's what it reminded me
Oh
of.
yeah. Well, it's because magenta is such a weird color that like visually doesn't actually exist like in our color spectrum. So it's a hard color to process, so that's why they go with stuff like that. And yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. I just got harken back to that. Another great movie, by the way. If you want to check that
Hmm.
one out, well worth it.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, this gelatinous fucking monster just appears, and it's just like, rawr. What's funny is the building's burning, and this thing's just happily sitting getting its arse toasted, and not even remotely bothered.
Right.
And then this is where Ken decides to step up and try and face it off. Like,
Oh my God. That was so beautiful. I got this. I should have been a manager. I can take care of this. I'm with you. I'm with you. And that death.
oh,
Oh,
yeah, that
so
was a
good.
satisfying death, especially after.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Because you don't even see him die. It's just he keeps getting closer, and then the monster goes whack, and he flies off. It's just so good.
Because it just represents those little dipshits. What you want to do, you just want to go fucking whack, get the fuck away from me,
Yeah,
be
fuck
gone to
yeah.
somewhere else, just disappear.
Hmm.
Ah, they're fucking parasites, man.
Yeah,
But
so good.
yeah, that was cool. The next scene's just hilarious
Hmm.
because forklifts don't operate like that, and the shitty
No.
CGI at the wheels.
Yeah, usually I'd bitch about something like that, but that
It
was
was funny. It wasn't.
hilarious. Like it
It
fits so
wasn't. That's the
well.
thing. This movie's not taking itself seriously. It's out to have a laugh, and when it's out to have a laugh, you can go with it. If the movie was trying to be
Oh
serious and
yeah.
scary, and you saw that, you'd be like, "Get the fuck." But yeah, the idea is Chris decides he's going to use the forklift to launch as a weapon.
Yeah.
They're electric carts, but he's making it as if it has a fucking V8 turbo engine. The fucking
Yeah.
wheel spins. Just like, nah, mate, that doesn't work like that. You'd have still been in the thing.
No.
But it was funny to watch. But
Hmm.
what's hilarious is, like I said, this thing's just sitting, not bothered by the flames, as busy sitting getting toasted, but getting a forklift truck to the eyeball
Hmm.
then makes it like completely collapse.
I mean, makes sense. I'd fucking do me in.
Yeah, just and then it blows up and the whole thing like big CGI face of it collapsing into the building, just brilliant.
Yeah. Well, that like that ending's so great because it's almost like a reverse of the mist. Um, because they're like all happy, like fuck yeah, we're gonna go get pancakes. You remember that thing we said earlier in the movie? Yeah, let's do that. And then as they're driving off, you see other presumably retail stores have their own kaiju
Yeah, it
like
wasn't
in
just it
the
was just stores all
distance.
over.
It's
Like
like
there's
this is
hundreds of
great.
these things. They knock out one,
Hmm.
and they're so blasé about the fact that the world's effectively come to an end.
Hmm.
Oh, they've got shelters set up. We could all go and hang out.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh
goddamn
man,
good.
that was a hilarious movie. And then obviously you got the three of them. Marnie wasn't much of a character in this. Um, I was the only one that wasn't really. Yeah, Ken was screwing her, but that was it. There wasn't really. She was a bit underplayed, and I'm glad we didn't get a final
Hmm.
girl thing. It was nice that the three of them got out.
Yeah. Well, and we didn't need that. It wasn't like a traditional horror movie, so like, why would it only be one of them?
Yeah, that's it. Just refreshing. This movie
Hmm.
just didn't take itself seriously. It was out to have a bit of fun, get a few laughs, job done. Like I was
Hmm.
happy with us.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was one I was disappointed it took me so long to see because it came out, of course, on like I think the week of Black Friday, and I didn't see it until New Year's Eve.
Oh, such a
So
hard
should have
life.
saw it
It's
sooner,
not like
but
you had to
yeah,
wait three
I was
months.
happy I saw it. Yeah, that's
Because I
true.
was trying, I was looking, how the fuck is this thing not available? It's not as if it's like A-list
Mhm.
Hollywood. No, it just didn't make sense for it not to be available in my region.
Mhm. Yeah.
But glad I finally got to see it. And yes, we're talking about it a bit late and better out of season, but so what? It's
Whatever. It's fucking worth
it
waiting.
is. This is a movie you can flick on anytime and just have a laugh with, and that's what we need now and again.
Hmm.
Like, well,
Yeah,
when we're talking in the
definitely.
Haunted Grove, we're talking about a really dark, suspenseful, like miserable movie. So this is like the flip side of horror. That's why horror is such a brilliant genre.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you wouldn't get this in a rom com or anything. You know what I mean? This is why horror it covers. You can be really dark, suspenseful, come out actually depressed and disturbed, or you can come out absolutely busting
Hmm.
your sides and having a laugh. And
Oh yeah.
that's why this genre always given a whole variety and different things. But yeah, cool. Happy with that. Glad we got to talk about it. Now, I think we're going to get a bit more serious as we go back in time.
Yeah. Yeah. This one, man, I don't watch it very often for a
It's been
fucking good
years.
reason.
It's been years since I've seen this.
It's I usually go at least like 3 or 4 years in between viewings because it's just so hard to watch.
It's a sad movie.
Like it's a great movie, but I anything with the animals, man, it fucking kills me. And especially for them to play it up like he's a monster when really he's the victim through the entire movie. He's the
Yeah,
fucking
rabies is a
victim.
terrible thing. That's why there's, especially in the UK, there's really strict laws.
Mm.
against it because the whole thing of moving animals and all about it's really, really, really tightly controlled here.
Hmm.
That and BSE because continental Europe is a bit of a shithole when it comes to standards. They're good at regulation, but actually
Hmm.
having standards just they're awful. So it's always been this thing of like keeping track of animals because fucking once an animal gets rabies, it's gone. There's no f buts or maybes about it. There's no cure
Hmm.
for rabies. You can catch it before it takes hold, but once an animal gets rabies, it's fucked. And if you haven't figured out
Yeah.
what we're talking about, it's Cujo.
Yeah, we're talking
Yeah.
about Cujo.
God, man, I haven't even read the book in years either. Obviously, used to have it before I moved, but such is life.
Hmm.
So, Cujo, written by Don Carlos Dunaway, Barbara Turner, and directed by Lewis Teague, and obviously based on the book by Stephen King. This is one of the ones, we've talked about Stephen King movies. This is one of the few that hold up. You know what I mean? A lot of Stephen King movies age very badly, but this is one that actually holds up till today and works in its setting.
Yeah. Well, it's a movie, and it's you know a lot of it has to do with the actors in it. Like, I mean, you throw Dee Wallace in something in the '80s, and you already know that it's going to be killer. Like, she is, the '80s mom.
Mm-hmm. Very well, but starts off obviously Cujo frolicking about his property. Looks, it just reminds me of Old Yeller, that movie.
Hmm.
Just but he's just frolicking about chasing a rabbit. Starts straight away, shows you how it happens. Head down the rabbit hole, fucking rabbit bats chomp on him. Job done. But then what the movie does then is it cuts away from that and then spends the next 30 minutes setting the scene of the town. And
Hmm.
that's the thing about Stephen King I've noticed, and I don't know whether I'll need to read more into his background, but I don't know whether it's because of his background or because he's an activist. But he really focuses on the ugliness of humanity. Like
No, it's because he's a realist.
that's his whole shtick of
Like,
everything.
that's the real horror in life.
Yeah, I don't like
And
people. You may have guessed that by now, but he really delves deep into every aspect of humanity and the ugliness in it. Like, there's no with his movies, there's no like happy family that just get dragged into a mad situation. Everything's tainted. There's no innocence.
mhm.
There's no, you know what I mean? There's always some underlying tension. So he spends the next 30 minutes and we sort of see the town. It's isolated, run down. Who do we start off with? The Cambers. That's the Cujo's
Well, it's
family.
the yeah, the yeah.
Uh, Absolute shithole, shitty family, so to speak. I never understood that. Like, what do you call him? Joe. He's your typical fucking, abuser that makes no sense. You know what I mean? How could you act like that? I don't get it. Like, there's a reason I
Hmm.
learned early on to cook and clean for myself because I've seen images of this type of bloke and I never wanted to be that type. You know what I mean? The family's a slave to fucking cook and clean for you and just being a piece of shit. I just don't get it. But that's what that guy is. So you see the ugliness in this family. And Cujo's basically the light of their life, the kid's life anyway.
Hmm.
I mean, the dog's the only happiness, really,
Yeah.
in a miserable family, which is sad. His wife gets money and buys him a fucking thing for the garage to help him with his business.
Yeah, he's a fucking asshole about
It's
that.
like, dude, that's a piece of equipment. If she's able to buy it for you, that's going to make you more money. Like, there's no logical thinking.
Hmm.
And the sad thing is, there's people like that out there, and it's not even just played up for the cameras. But
Oh yeah.
I just hate the way everyone's portrayed, especially Stephen King lately. He needs to fucking get off Twitter. But I'm sick and tired of this, like, rich people's hatred of the working class, people that do an honest job, are all tarred with the same brush. Just pisses me off. But then it's this sort of stereotype gets played out throughout. But yeah, not even remotely grateful, and fear in the family, and just fucking antagonism all the time. And even with the Trenton family, there's so-called middle class successful ones.
Mm-hmm.
There's Vic's doing his best. You know what I mean? He's just typical out working, supporting, and Donna's shagging
Mm-hmm.
all rounder. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you're like, what the fuck? So there's no good people here. They're all shitheads. You know, and there's no heroes. They're just freaking all this ugliness, and that's what Stephen King's best at. You know what I mean? When he shows that out, you know, that's what you see, and that's what the movie kind of spends time. So it's a bit weird because it's almost like starts off. You'd think this movie would go straight into Cujo and a killing spree, but it doesn't. It kind
Mm-hmm.
of lays out the town and the characters.
Well, and that's the thing is it's an adaptation that even though it's not 100% directly with the source material, it stays with the idea of what Stephen King does as an author, where he makes you become friends with the people that he's going to kill off. Like, nobody's safe, but you get to know everybody, and like this movie does that shit brilliantly.
Yeah, and that's and that's a good thing as a writer. He does. He spends so much time in character development,
Hmm.
because the monster's the monster, so to speak. You know, horror. So that's what kind of sets him apart. I wish I could do it, but I don't like people enough, or I'm not interested in people enough to actually delve too deep into them. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh, I don't want to know their motivations. Just get away from me. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So it turns out that just before Vic's about to go away the weekend, that whole thing with cereal was a bit mad. So
Hmm.
Vic's an advertiser. He has a contract with this cereal company, and they've got basically what do you call him, Mr. Rogers character
Hmm.
as the professor, doing basically a carbon copy of him in the TV,
Yeah.
saying how great this cereal is. Then was a food dye. There was a contaminant or something in the food dye made.
Hmm. Yeah, it made people a little sick and like shit. Well, what they thought was blood, but it was just the red food coloring.
Yeah, I don't get the reaction. I know it's to make the plot happen, but
Hmm.
okay, why are they blaming the advertisers for setting up their brand when they would have approved it first of all?
Hmm.
And why are the advertisers, Vic's get into a meltdown? It's like, dude, they want you to start a new advertising campaign. That's more money. So they made it as if they were going to
Right.
lose the account, but they're not. They want them to go and start a new advertising campaign. So it's like, fair enough. You're the ones that fucked up. We'll rehash it for you. I don't understand the antagonism,
Yeah.
but possibly because of the tensions in the household, because that's become obvious. He kind
Hmm.
of knows, but hasn't had definitive proof. He knows there's something up with him.
Yeah.
It's all very strange. So it's this underlying tension in the town of the people that makes it why everything's sort of overreacted, because there's no reason for him to be so stressed out when the only thing I can think of is home life isn't good. You need to balance, so obviously that's
Hmm.
going to impact your work life, etc., etc. The fact the wee kid goes just because he's going away for a couple of days, like Tad, the kind of wee boy in this,
Hmm.
like obviously,
Yeah, completely loses his shit over it.
yeah. So there's something else. Like the wee kid's not right. You can understand being afraid of the dark and stuff, and then the whole ritual of him
Hmm.
uh, going through and checking stuff calmed down. But the fact that the wee kid was like getting so upset, and this wee actor, he played a good role, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he was great.
Like he
I mean, I could have done with less of the screaming, but I got it.
kind of see where it was necessary, but at the same time, he wasn't like a Disney character. Some child actors could just
Yeah.
fucking
No.
be horrendous, but he actually played this part well. But you can kind of tell there's
Mm.
something more going on. That the fact that he can't let his dad out of his sight and he doesn't feel secure with his mother or something. You know what I mean? There's weird stuff
Yeah.
uh, happening. But we get basically things start to ramp up then. You know what I mean? We spend so long getting to know the characters and the family and seeing that things aren't happy. The whole thing with the car, I've had that happen, the air pump. So that in this and Primera and that whole I knew exactly what that was. It was funny. I was doing like
Hmm.
26 quid to fix. Remember back in the day, but once I had a car and once I hit over 60, it just started doing that shuddering thing. All it is an air pump, and once you get that replaced, it's fucking back to normal. But yeah, um, he's off on his business trip. The family, like, she has to ask her husband and the Campers, the mechanics family, basically has to ask permission to go see her sister.
Right.
Like I said, I don't get the abusive mentality
Hmm.
because if you really hate someone that much, get the fuck away. Or if he doesn't want his
Well,
family there,
problem is,
then he should be glad she's going away. Like I don't get it.
hmm, well, and it's so funny too. Like, I mean, you kind of get that with, like after they take off, he's having beers with his friend, like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that, and I mean, it shows he's got codependency issues, and controlling them. I mean, he's a fucking narcissist. They have to do what he wants, or the wrath of God's gonna fall down on him.
Yeah, it was weird. And then fucking Charles, wasn't it? His alcoholic neighbor who fucking has a junk pile. Oh my
Hmm.
god, that was like a hoarder. How the fuck? I couldn't go in that house. Never mind, sit down and have beers. Fucking
Right?
skin was crawling watching that.
Yeah.
Newspapers and shit and fucking rusted thing. Like, why do you keep that shit? I don't understand hoarders.
Hmm. Well, and then he's sitting there just throwing the empty cans on the floor. It's like, the fuck? Like, especially if you're a drunk, like, take those and recycle them. Buy more
Yeah,
beer. Like, I knew people like that. They'd have a giant garbage can in their kitchen, and all the cans went in there. And as soon as the can was full, they'd go recycle the aluminum and buy a fucking 30
yeah. In
pack.
fact, when I was living over your neck of the woods, our neighbor 2 doors down, he actually repaired lawnmowers. So he basically ran. He was retired, but he ran a business out of his garage. But he collected all the cans as
Hmm.
well. He just had them all stacked up. But he kept everything neat. Like
Hmm.
his garage where he done his stuff was spotless. And this is him changing oil and fixing lawnmowers and not just the ride-ons. And he would go to the
Hmm.
scrap heap and pick up one and bring it back, repair it, and sell it. But everything was immaculate. It wasn't a shit heap. And he was an alcoholic because he was
Hmm.
no, I got talking with him. He was a former Navy, American Navy, obviously, and
Hmm.
alcoholic, so he didn't touch a drop. But he had more life about him in his 60s. But this guy just made me sick.
Yeah.
And you're just like, just reminds me of a certain someone, but we'll not go into that. And that didn't
Yeah.
end out well. That didn't go
Yeah.
well.
I have no idea who you're talking
No.
about at all.
But just to live like that and have no ounce of self respect, like, why live?
It's insane.
You may as well
Yeah.
just swing yourself from a tree. If that's the way you want to live, then you're not alive.
Pretty
But
much.
this guy turns out to be Cujo's first victim. And the whole
Hmm.
joke, when we see Cujo get done with the distemper, you know what I mean? See it starting to take hold and loud noises and him freaking out and big plaza. That's another fun fact. You use 7 dogs in this movie
And a
and a
person.
person in a suit. Yes. Which is why this should
Yeah.
never get a 4K remake. If this gets a 4K
Yeah,
remake, you'll
even
fuck it up.
like, okay, so the version that I watched, it's the one that was the Blu-ray
Mm.
version. Not that I watched on Blu-ray, because I actually have no fucking clue if I own this movie or not. I swear that I own it, but I can never find it. So I just watched it on Amazon, and I mean, you can definitely tell when they're switching dogs, especially towards the end, because they have such very specific differences. Like the face is completely fucking different. But I don't know, it's so well done that you just buy into the fantasy of it all. Like even when it's the dude in a suit, like you just kind of accept that
Yeah, but the
that's the
filter,
dog.
that's what I'm saying. The filter actually, that helps mask it. So if you strip that away with 4K, you'll see every. I'll bring you back to Suspiria again when we talked about it, the fucking glove puppet. You know what I mean? You get away with that in the mist and stuff, but when you put that out without the filter, fucking, you can see the glove puppet. So
Mhm. Well, with this, to be honest, it still works because the version I watched was a 2K
Mhm.
scan. And like the thing that hides everything is the camera work. Like they knew what the fuck they were doing. I mean, granted, back when it was filmed, yeah, you had the film grain that would hide shit. You had the generational losses that would hide shit. But even without that stuff, like it still works pretty well.
Yeah, that's why it's still watchable today. But I just don't think this is one that shouldn't poke with too much because it'll strip
Hmm.
away all the work. And they use that. I mean, they use the grainness, use the filters to their effect as well as the camera
Hmm.
work. So, like I said, they know what they're doing.
Hmm.
So don't poke at this and take away from the work that was put in. That was very clever. Because, like I
Hmm.
said, the 7 dogs, a person in a suit. Like it was the car scene when stand up was a person, and I think it was the last scene they used the person when Cujo gets stabbed. I think it was the
Hmm.
two scenes of the person, but you know what I mean. Really done well.
Yeah.
When Joe goes to pick up his friend, because that's the thing, bitching about having no money, and then they're going off to Vegas, wasn't it, or somewhere?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, that's the way to do it. Like you're poor, so why not go to the other side of the country and get
yeah,
hookers? Just makes sense to me.
like I said, I don't get the mindset. It's a like the whole narcissist thing you're saying just fucking boggles my mind.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
How people just come to those or live that way or think that way. It's just fucking weird. Such a waste of energy. But yeah, then Joe gets
Definitely.
killed as well, and then he states, "Ah, you're rabbit." So he recognizes what has happened to Cujo.
Hmm.
Yet, thing is, the kids. Why did the kids not notice a huge bite on his nose and starting to do it?
Yeah. Right. It's some shitty people to not be like, oh, we should at least clean this fucking thing on his schnoz.
Like fuck, if my dog's got a broken toenail, I'm like, oh, right, better get that sorted out. Or that was always the thing. Like when you're petting, I always do, especially when they're running about outside and stuff. I always check their pads, make sure they haven't stepped in anything.
Yeah.
And
Of course, you have to.
that's just part of daily look after a dog. So especially kids that are being affectionate, you'd know something's wrong.
Hmm.
But then again, it's going to show that this whole family, they're not nice people. There's a whole underlying tension. So maybe that's why
Hmm.
things just aren't looked at. But yeah,
Yeah.
Joe gets killed as well. That's why you don't need a modern remake of this, I don't think, because one thing that plays into this movie is the isolation. So
Hmm.
because they're isolated, they're having to use analog phones, rotary dials. You know what I mean? There's no way that would work today.
Yeah, no, like being trapped in a fucking car for 3 days because the dog's there. Yeah, that would never happen. They'd have to set that up as, like a stupid shot that as they're leaving the house to go to the mechanics, oh, she left her cell phone on the counter. And shit like that, like I understand the need for it, but at the same time it always takes me out of a movie because it's like you don't need to do that.
Oh, fuck, remember we talked about the Wicker Band? Like, fucking beep, 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 beep. It's like, oh, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
And especially when there's SMS. But no, what they need to do now is work the technology into the plot. That's what they need to do. Just work the technology into the plot. And even if they can't get through, have something. Just
Hmm.
need to change things up. They can't keep using the same formula with today. But then this is why this movie you can watch it because you know the time period. It's
Hmm.
not trying to be anything else, so you understand the isolation because of the limitation of technology. But still, it doesn't age that badly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like that's something that's sort of underutilized in movies nowadays. Like, you can do a timepiece without it being a nostalgia piece. Like, filming something that's set like in the early to late 90s, like, it's still pretty, modern sensibilities, fairly similar, you know how people dress, but I mean certain things didn't exist. Like we didn't have fucking cell phones. Yeah, someone might have a pager or anything, but like it's so easy to do something like that and it not feel like a period piece, feel more modern but to make sense. Like I'm trying to think, what was it, The Turning, the adaptation of the Turning of the Screw or whatever, like that was perfect how they incorporated the 90s, but it didn't feel like a period piece.
Yeah, and that's a good thing about this movie. You know why it still stands because they've kept it there.
Hmm.
They haven't used over the top effects, and I think that's what we've
Hmm.
talked about before. When they try to be groundbreaking with effects, the first couple of iterations always age badly because it's trying a
Hmm.
new thing. So this is tried and tested practical effects, camera work. They
Yeah.
didn't, you know, what I mean, a lot of stuff was suggested, so you didn't have to worry about
Hmm.
seeing it.
Oh
You
yeah.
knew what was happening, so that's cool. That built, you know, what I mean, that's let your mind wander and imagine what's going on. That's a good thing about these sort of movies. But the horror was still there.
Hmm.
Um, so after Joe, we've got Steve's away doing his conference. Uh, Not Steve. Vic. God, I'm Frank. I don't know these characters.
Yeah, Vic is
Yeah,
yeah,
he's away
Vic's
to
on
his
the trip.
conference. Dawn is going to go and get the car fixed, and that's where shit basically hits the fan. She comes up, Cujo's there, they get trapped, the car dies. This is where you know that kid's got problems or he's been overindulged or something.
Hmm.
Where can't get him to calm down for a minute, and she actually gives in to his every whim. She knows.
I mean, she breaks at one point, and that was the thing. Like that felt fucking human as shit. Because like I would never fucking hit a kid, but god damn it, if I was stuck in a car for 3 days and it would stop screaming, yeah, I'd probably smack the fucking kid around too. Like shut the fuck up.
And she really went for it in that thing. Like, that was. You
Uh-huh.
wouldn't be able to do that now. Like, people would freak out,
No. Oh
that
yeah.
sort of acting.
Because people don't understand. Hey, they're actors. They're acting. That means they're playing pretend.
God, there's something they're freaking out about over now, and it's like, piss off.
Hmm.
Oh, it was a skit. It was a comedy thing. I watched a skit and I saw the comments, and everyone's like fucking freaking out. I was like, it's a joke. Like, you sad,
Can't do that
you
anymore. Comedy's
sad,
dead.
miserable fuckers. In fact, I shared it on Facebook. You know the one about the tea? Somebody making tea badly?
Oh, I didn't
All
see
right,
it.
I shared a post there yesterday. It was about fucking. It was a skit about somebody making awful tea and everyone freaking out on them.
Hmm.
And all the comments are like, this is bullying, this is bullying, this is so terrible. And like, it's a fucking joke. And they're all. These are characters in a series that people I follow, and they swap the characters around and they chop and change it. And these people are
Hmm.
fucking stupid. They see one thing and think it's like real. Like I said, just the way she cracks up with the kid could not happen in today's movie because there's no way they can bring that realism
No.
because people are that
Yeah.
mollycoddled that fucking lose their shit. I'm surprised they haven't tried to cancel it. I suppose uh, it's only a matter of time. Like, Stephen King's posting a lot of shit on Twitter, and he's uh, basically shining the light on himself to the mob. So it's only a matter of time before they turn around and need him. It's going to happen.
No, he's
No,
untouchable.
no, but he's
Like
untouchable. In fact, when you try to run with the
he's
mob,
fucking
it's only a matter of time
untouchable.
before they turn on you. He's setting himself up for a fall.
Nah. Well, and that's the nice thing. It's Stephen fucking King. Like he can just be like, "Oh, okay, these guys are being assholes," and boop, turns off Twitter and just leaves the fucking mob.
Yeah, well, he's at 80 now, isn't he?
He's getting
Close
close,
to 80 now, isn't he? So he
getting real close.
probably hits
Hmm.
I don't give a fuck territory. Yeah, at least
Yeah.
the only thing I'd be annoyed about is his legacy going because of stupidity. That'd be a shame if he do no by.
I I don't I don't think it'll happen. Like he's a modern fucking genius, and that's not just because I'm obsessed with this shit. Like he's legit a wonderful author that has spawned other authors and shit. And it's like I don't think he'll go anywhere
No,
even after he's gone.
no, but I just hope he doesn't ruin his legacy by getting involved with the online shit.
Oh, okay, I got
Do
you.
you know what I mean?
Sorry,
That's what I mean.
misunderstood.
He's at that stage where he doesn't. He's owed. No, I mean, he owes nobody anything. He doesn't have to
Mhm.
worry about career, but the only thing he can destroy right now is what getting on the way he is because he may think he's doing a good thing, or he might think he's still being relevant, but he could destroy his own legacy because he's sailing a bit too close to the wind with the mob. Because these people, as you know, will fucking flip on a switch, and one minute you're their hero, and the next minute you're the demon. Now that's where he's kind of, he's getting a wee bit too close. I think he needs to just step back a bit and just enjoy what the remainders of his years. He's put his work in. He doesn't have to prove anything. He doesn't have to produce anything unless it's a love interest. I mean, a love project.
He just needs to just go back to posting pictures of Molly, the Thing of Evil.
Dean Cooch does it very well. He just posts pictures of his Labradors, and that's him. He's good.
Well, I mean, fuck, that's what Stephen King used to do, was just posting pictures of his corgi. And it's like, that's back when I had Twitter for like a month. That's pretty much all I did. Was I saw him post pictures of his dog and was like, this guy is amazing. He's a national treasure. And his dog is adorable.
But I think he's just got a bit too involved. Maybe he'll wise up and go, yeah, this isn't a good idea. But let's hope. So we've got this whole scene anyway. This is really done well. It was so simple. I mean, you basically got two people trapped in a car. The dog's just there waiting, and it's any sort of sound. Even the peeing scene, the wee kid having to pee, was done well.
Mm-hmm.
The dog's like right in the front.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about the sheriff though.
Yeah, I mean, that shit built a lot of suspense, because like, really, what do you fucking do in those situations? Like, that's the kind of shit you don't typically see in a movie, because people don't pee and poo in movies. They don't need to eat or sleep. So it really built another layer of suspense.
It's realism. You know what I mean? You're trapped in a car. You're screwed. You know what I mean? You still have bodily functions, and that's the way he wove it into the horror. Fantastic. You know what I mean? And the kid doesn't understand. As we've seen already, the kid's a bit fragile. You know what I mean? Or something. I don't know whether it's he's picked up in the vibes of the household or what. You know what I mean? There's major tension there. Kids are like a sponge, pick all that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just completely out of his depth, freaking out. And Mother's trying to cope best she can, but there's obviously something wrong with her too.
Mm-hmm.
So we get this, and then it just gets random. It cuts away to their house, and you have Steve, the ex-boyfriend, the one she was horsing it into, just turn up in the house. Like, and that's another thing I don't understand. If you're having an affair with somebody who's married, what are you expecting here?
Right.
Are you expecting to kick the husband out and move in and take over the family? Or are you just having a bit on the side and a bit of fun? I don't get his I can't let you go sort of thing. It's fucking proper psycho. He was actually scarier than the dog in this. Like,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, everybody was scarier than the dog in this, because everybody else, like, they were the monsters.
He was worse than Joe.
The dog was just a helpless victim. Yeah, definitely. Because he could look his homie right in the face and be like, "Hey, guy, we're friends." And then, "Oh, you're gone? All right, I'm going to fuck your wife."
Yeah, and then when she says no, he goes completely psycho. It's like, dude.
Yeah. Tries to fucking rape her and shit. Yeah, he was a piece of work.
Up. Honestly, that was. But when he goes into the house, this is what sets the whole scene with the sheriff. He goes into the house and he just fucking takes a kitchen knife, starts slashing the place up. It's like, fucking wrong with you? You're having a bit of sex. Have you never been fucking touched before in your life? Were you a virgin before you met her? What the fuck?
It's like, dude, your hand can be used for so much better than stabbing.
Yeah, fucking going. I think that's a part of the problem as well. Fucking YouPorn wasn't about, or Pornhub, whatever ones it were. What's a woman that has
whatever those sites are. I don't know what they're called.
They're all the same, but fucking porn streaming is what fucking should have saved the world. Honestly, it's the gift of the world, because people like that just need to fucking go to a screen and knock one out. Honestly, fucking hell, dude.
Yep.
Talk about being obsessed, but then Vic comes back early because he's like because the way things were left, and he's just having visions of shit get on, and probably His wife getting daisy chained around the fucking house behalf of the old
Right.
football team or something, you know. He just blows out the account, which they thought they were going to lose the account, but they're actually getting more work. That's what I'm talking about, the whole tension. That didn't make sense to me because it was a company fucked up.
Yeah.
Why they're blaming the advertiser, and basically what they're doing to the advertisers, we need a whole new scheme. Any advertiser be like, I'll have some of that, please. Yes, we'll make you a new
Right.
professor or something else. It was just fucking weird. But yeah, he freaks out now. He comes back, discovers the house, calls the police. Fuck. Even
And they're
just
fucking
like,
useless.
yeah. And he's like, I know who it is. I saw her when he caught his wife, or he passed by and he saw him run out of his house to her, and then he turned around and she's gone. But he knew, you know what I mean? He was hyper aware anyway that something wasn't right.
Yeah.
So when he finally gets to that aha moment and sees what's going on, that's that up. So that's obviously playing in his mind the whole time. So he comes back, says this, the police are just like, yeah, fuck you, you know, like nobody collects fingerprints or anything. Just yeah, tough shit.
No, there
Was
was
it?
somebody pretending to collect fingerprints on a frame or a mirror.
Yeah.
Like you see some dude with a piece of tape going like this on a mirror in the background.
Ah, God, man, that was like I said, just this whole town. But I think this is the character in Stephen King's book is Maine. That whole is Maine the state, or is it? What's the whole area? It's Maine, right? So it's that whole state.
Yeah,
Yep.
Maine's the state.
Maine is the character, and he's kind of built this interconnected universe because it gets mentioned in the Dark Tower movies about. No, it wasn't. It was in Pet Sematary.
It's in
That they
almost
mentioned
every
about
book of his.
the incident with Cujo. There's a direct reference about the
So, are we talking about
book.
the book
No,
or
not
the
the movies.
movies?
The books.
The books, it'd be both
So
actually. I
Cujo
think.
was mentioned in Pet Sematary
Because
because
like the Dark Tower series,
the Dark Tower references
Yep.
Salem's Lot, had a
everything.
lot, and then he does the whole interconnected thing. The fifth book was
Yeah, well, the fifth book especially because that's where you get Father Callahan, direct from Salem's Lot.
fourth book. Father Callahan comes
Which
back. Wills of Callahan.
no, it's the fifth book. Yeah, because it's the Wolves of
Gunslinger,
the
drawn of
Kala that
three. Fuck, I need to get these again.
dude, you do. Okay, I got a list for you. Like you can turn that 7-book series or 6-book series into a 28-book series, and it's fucking worth it. So good.
Yeah, because each one's like so much in it. But Cujo gets referenced in Pet Sematary, I believe, because they talk about the incident because of the timeline. But the point I'm trying to make is Maine, the state of Maine, is Stephen King's character. And he's been building this narrative that there's something evil that's causing all this. Like there's an underlying evilness that affects anybody in the state. And that's why these things keep happening.
Yeah.
And that's his whole running thread throughout all of his books.
Yeah. Well, and it's even like gone off into like his son's work too. Joe Hill, like even with his work, a lot of that shit is still, going on.
And it's really well done. It's not beating you over the head. It's subtly done, the references, but definitely the whole theme of King's work. And that's what, because this movie could have been half an hour long. It could have been a creep show episode. Let's be honest, but it's the whole building of the characters and the underlying tension and the fact that he's drawn it into this universe that there's something not right. And that's what corrupts everybody. It's a corrupting influence that's just turning people.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sheriff goes off to have a look, begrudgingly after Vic Near shouts at him, like, to check out.
Yeah, that shit was so
Right.
funny.
So you're a police officer. You're supposed
I
to
love
have
that
some
whole
sort of
scene.
training, right? You drive past a car and you see blood up the side of it and you see a cracked windscreen. and you don't look in the car.
Well, and you can even see people laying in the front seat with that kind of car because
The whole back,
the
yeah.
hatch is just glass.
So you don't think I'm going to check the first thing that I'm seeing here, and the
Hmm.
fact that you see blood, the first thing you don't do is draw your pistol.
Right? Or call
Yeah,
for fucking backup. That's the shit that got me. It's like your fucking radio is right here. Your keys right here. Like you have to reach past it to turn your fucking car off.
fucking dumb. Like that's the only bit that took me. Like this is the only proper dumb bit in the movie. The sheriff turning up.
Well, but he kind of looks the part of the cop that would not give a shit. Like he looks like he's been on the force for, 20, 25 years, getting towards the end, doesn't really give a shit anymore. Like that's what I took from the character. So it wasn't that far fetched that he wouldn't, use common sense when he showed
I
up.
suppose fair enough, but yeah, it was just annoying. So he gets dispatched pretty quickly, and actually that was the funny scene. Him trying to get away from the
Mhm.
dog, and the dog fucking like
Right.
chasing up after him. Like, uh,
Yeah. It's like that dog is bigger than you. What the fuck do you expect? Oh, I'm gonna stand on something that I clearly was easily able to climb on. The dog can't get up here. Yeah, what the fuck?
nah. But he was just there. He's basically a plot device so that Donna can get the gun.
Hmm.
That was it.
Yeah.
And the fact that Donna wakes up, she sees it that he's getting dispatched, and she's just like, I have to do something. You know what I mean? Desperation.
Hmm. Yeah, and that shit, that's where you see the dog, like how much control he has over them. Because he's sitting there fucking tearing up that cop. And then she gets out of the car all super quietly. And he comes running up like, nope, bitch, sit back down. I'll be back with you in a second.
Yeah. I've seen videos before. Dogs with distemper, foxes actually, and something else. It's not a nice thing to see. But to have this dog more calculating than a dog with like the dogs with rabies just lose it. Like it's
Hmm.
really tragic. But to have this more, he becomes more calculating as he gets further into it, which is weird. But yeah, she goes at him with a baseball bat. It was actually well done. As this was a well done scene because
Hmm.
she's not inept. She's no, I mean she's swinging out a he's weakened. She's swinging wildly. She's not trying to be like kung fu master all of a sudden, which I
Hmm.
hate with
Yeah.
some tropes. They just all of a sudden the meek male girl becomes
Hmm.
a kung fu master like that, which
Yeah.
she didn't.
Yeah. No, it was very akin to like Wendy Torrance. Like she has the weapon that she needs, but she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She just knows that she has to do something.
Yeah, that was another great great scene as well. But yeah, so she beats the dog, then he lands on her, breaks the bat, and it was just by luck that she manages to impale the dog. But
Hmm.
she sees a gun, but her, obviously Tad's just like in bits now, so she grabs him, runs into the house.
Hmm.
What I didn't understand as well, maybe because I'm first aid trained and stuff, but with somebody with hypothermia, heat stroke basically, wet towels, so there's loads of towels hanging up over the sink. Why didn't you start wetting them and lay
Hmm.
them on his body? That's a
Right. Versus getting a handful of
this,
water and
you know what I mean?
splashing it on him.
I had a
Well, I mean, the kid's tiny, and that's an old school sink. Like she could have also just very
just
well
dunked him in
sat
it
him
and
in the
turned it
fucking
on.
sink.
I mean, 100 things to do.
Yeah.
Um, I had this book, and it was from the 1950s, the Housewife's Handbook, and I tell you, it was brilliant. It was one of them books that I actually really miss, but it covered butchery, first aid, fucking everything. Like it was about that thick. It was hardback,
Nice.
and as a housewife, you know what I mean? Because this is playing the trope of her being the stay-at-home mother and all that there business. But this book,
Hmm.
like women were trained, and actually give you a picture of like a cow and
Yeah.
all the cuts and a fucking sheep, and like I said, there's also
Fucking
fucking
A.
for like a whole section on first aid training. It was brilliant. I missed that book. I'll have to look at it, see if
Nice.
we can get another copy sometime. But yeah, she's that inept that she didn't even know the basics of oh shit, and especially in a state where it's prevalent in the summer to be really hot. Everyone's bound to have been trained on what to do with
Hmm.
heat stroke.
Yeah, it's like heat strokes pretty straightforward. You get them cool, try to get their core
God, I remember
temperature
first time
down.
over in Utah. Fucking hell. It was, or second time, sorry, this first time was in winter. Second time, before I moved over. Fucking came out in the summer, right? And me, Mister, like,
Yeah, I bet that was
I've only
fun.
been out a few times this week, and I'm already beaten red. This is UK summer. Before I got a face like a slapped arse. You turn the fucking
That's
light on,
great.
and I get sunburned. My first time out, I was fucking falling over. I had to get thrown in the shower, and it was just like 40 minutes out in the heat. I was fucking flaking,
Oh, that's funny.
and I knew it was going down. And it was just like in the shower, fucking like freezing cold just to survive. I've, as you know, I built up my tolerance. I was all right after a while, but like that first time out there
Hmm.
being used the heat. But if you're in somewhere that you know heat stroke's a thing, you know how to deal with it. You know how to recognize it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So why is she a
It's
fucking idiot?
not. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not that
Yeah,
big of a
that's the only
deal.
bit of like only a couple of bits took me out of this movie, and it's her acting like that, like little Hal,
Mm.
like fucking fill a jug.
Well, and it's like I can sort of give it because of the fact that she also is like everything that kid went through, she went through, but then she also got attacked by the fucking dog. So I can understand that she's not in a full, right frame of mind. But you also would think that mommy instincts
Yeah,
would kick in. So I don't
and it
know.
wasn't like they're in a bar; they're in a kitchen. So, um,
Mhm.
but that's it. She's trying to get him. She has to give him mouth to mouth because he stops breathing. That and then fucking Cujo crashes through the window. That was a bit over
Hmm.
dramatic, considering the fact he like the doors were open and that. But I suppose I had to have the final
Yeah.
scene. Then she shoots him, and that's it. Basically done.
Then dad shows up on the steps. They all embrace, and then
Yep,
goes to the credits.
nice ending. But all in all, this movie does stand up. Like,
It does. It really does. I mean, I fucking have a hard time watching it, but at the same time, it's also a really, really fucking
but
good movie. Like, definitely one of the better
but
adaptations.
once again, that's what horror is. It's meant to unsettle you for different reasons. That's the
Hmm.
whole point of the horror genre. It's meant to leave you a bit like unsettled or not feeling good, and whatever button it
Hmm.
chooses. Some people like us, it's with animals. Other people, it's kids. Others, it's elderly being. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Other people, it's the shadows and dark or supernatural beings. It just depends what your particular thing. That little bit that
Yeah.
pushes your buttons. That's what horror's meant to do. That's why it's such an expanding genre. It's meant to in some way push your
Yeah.
buttons, and that's why it's such enjoyable because you feel something. There's nothing worse than going out of a
Oh
movie
yeah.
and not feeling anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And credit this one, like I said, some of the movie adaptations are such stinkers, but this one holds up, and it's one of the few, and it's
Hmm.
great that you can watch it. This was done 83 or something, wasn't it?
83.
The book
Yep.
came out in
83.
81. This was done in 83. There's still stuff on here. Like, I know stuff. Wasn't written down. Right, so there we go. We'll kind of wrap things up from there. So, just want to say thanks. We've actually quite a bit of thank yous to do this month because we're getting busier. So, first of all,
Yeah.
thanks
Fuck yeah.
to those that took part in Horrific Tales. So, that was Scott Donnelly, Evan Boffman, Arthur L. Strange, and Rain Hall. And then thanks to our guests that come on this month for Horrific Chats. That was Alison Armstrong, Christina Hogue, and Scott Donnelly come on to chat to us. We've obviously quite a few episodes planned in the future and interviews. Also, our buddy Adam's looking to start up a new segment as well on top of Haunted Grove, so that'll be good to check out once he gets that up and running. And we'll just keep cracking on. We'll keep doing this and maybe throw some random stuff in now and again. I'm gonna buy shiny
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yep. So basically, until next time, folks, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.
Keep it horrific.